Welcome to this video lesson on why use data stars and data cubes, and how this relates to your coursework assignment. In previous classes, you've seen the general shape for data warehousing, and seen that data sources are often extracted from a variety of places, and then fed through transform and load routines, before being fed into stars and to cubes. Finally, the business analysts connect to the cubes or to the stars in the search for business intelligence. You've had practical experience yourself of using Excel to open and inspect the contents of a cube. We are now going to step back one stage and look at stars and cubes and explain why have both of these at the same time. You've also seen from previous classes that stars are often made up from a number of dimension tables connected from one or possibly a few facts tables. The dimensions contain all the descriptions, for example, what date, which branch, and which product. And the facts table gives the quantities associated with these. For example, in this slide, £19 worth of sales values on the 4th of January in Cardiff for drinks. One of the key advantages of stars is that they are focused on very specific analysis needs. In this example, looking at the profits from sales of various products. This makes them simple to understand. Secondly, stars very often have a date dimension. This means we can analyse old data as well as new. And a third very practical reason is that stars are really tables, and they are easy to store using existing relational database environments. No special new software needs to be purchased. But we've also looked at cubes, and these likewise have dimensions and facts. But this time the positioning of values within the rows and the columns of the cubes dictates the meaning of those values. It's important to point out that cubes can have exactly the same data contents as a star, but they can be more memory efficient, and that means they're quicker to load and quicker to process. But it can be technically very difficult to insert new data. It's easier to rebuild the cube on a regular basis. Let's explore each of these in a little bit more detail. Stars are very often used to accumulate data. This is because it is very easy to add new facts to the facts table during the day. New attributes can be added to the dimensions, but we'll see later in the module this is a little bit more complex. And an advantage of stars is that there is no wasted space in the storage. New rows are only added if sales for that particular combination of date, branch and product actually take place. This contrasts quite strongly with cubes. Cubes are much more compact because, by and large, they are storing just the numeric metric values and not pointers to all the different dimensions. The position of the metric within the cube is what indicates which branch, which product, which date it belongs to. And in recent years, there's been great advances in the technologies for in-memory databases, giving the possibility of processing columns of data very, very quickly. But as we've mentioned, a feature of cubes is that they reserve a space for each combination of each attribute. And we can very easily waste space, or end up with a sparse cube, if we have a particular combination of branch, product and date where there were no sales made. Also, it's very difficult to add new rows or new columns. Adding a fifth city to our cube would involve completely rebuilding the whole structure. So very often cubes are rebuilt completely each day or each evening, drawing data from the star. So from what we've described, you should be able to see that stars are very helpful within the data warehouse for accumulating the data, whereas cubes can be used for publishing finalized sets of data for fast analytical use. So now let's explain how this relates to your coursework assignment. Ultimately, in your assignment, you will identify a business situation where you can pose analytic-style questions to identify what's going on within that business. To do this, you will create a cube with appropriate measures, key performance indicators and hierarchies. And on a daily basis, you will be able to update that cube to explore for new business opportunities. But we've just heard that cubes are rather inflexible things and difficult to update. So to overcome this, you will also build a star. And this will be housed within a SQL Server database. You will be very welcome to use data from your own company, or you can use simple data that you have invented specifically for this assignment. Although in real data warehouses you would probably use multiple data sources, for this assignment we will accept a simplified route through the extract, transform and load systems. This brings us to the end of our brief summary of why use both stars and cubes in the same data warehouse, and this explanation of how this all fits in with your assignment. Thank you for watching this video.